be just a single food, or it can be a full course like appetizers or dessert or risotto, whatever. A food that represents you. Try maybe not just to think about something that you like, which is nice of course, but a food that represents you for some reason. So this is the first little step. So think for a few seconds and then we go and we share. If I were a food. It doesn't have anything. Yes,
Anything.
Anything eatable, right?
You can anything
eatable. It doesn't have to be necessarily a dish. No.
Anything eatable, yes. Or this round, even something that maybe is not eatable. In the next part, hopefully something eatable. But in this first round, can be even something that for some reason is not eatable. I don't know. And whoever feels to start, to open the floor. Yeah.
So I just say, or there is a special way to say it.
No, you just.
I'm a bean.
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 Okay. Why?
Why? Why? Because it's okay. Anyway, it's a very big part of like the tradition, let's say, of eating in neighbors. Also because I think because my family was like quite used. Not because it's poor, it's something like very cheap or like to find, it's not expensive, and it's also like anyway like it's very nutrient, very full of good things. So like instead of meat and beans.
Okay, thank you.
I'm like a really diverse salad because I like the diversity. I really always curious about many different subjects, and I'm thin, and salad is like thin. So, and there is no way of increasing my weight.
I would be a fruit salad, like fresh and diverse as well. And I think that there are some like acid and not really ready to eat fruits as well inside.
Thank you.
I would be banana papaya juice inside of the coconut. But it's just a feeling, I don't know why.
I want to drink.
I'll share with you.
There's a plenty of it.
So I chose a coconut actually, and that's because it grows in the areas which is there's a lot of salt water, but yet it's very sugary water inside of it.
I chose walnut because of its curves and shapes, and that yet they are so different. Like there is no other exact same walnut. Hopefully.
I would be shrimp. I really love it. What I eat.
You can buy.
I could be a smoothie of maybe different fruits with colors, making a new color. Intense colors.
That would be an algae because it lives under the water and it floats.
I'm a tiramisu. You can eat it every time in the day.
I would be a lasagna because it has different layers, and yeah, depending on which layer you are on, you might discover some rock, and there's a crust, of course.
I chose a soup because I think like soup looks like it's just a mixture, but actually it's some like one thing. But actually, when you start to think about it, there are so many things inside that make it so good, and you can always change it a little bit to make it different. And soup can be savory and sweet as well. So I think it's very there is a big variety in soup.
I would. I would be black tea because I like to wake up people like in their thoughts.
Mine would be a hot, spicy Indian vegetarian dish. Yeah, because it's balanced, it's nutritional, it always surprises you with different kind of taste, and it fills your whole body with a lovely feeling. Yeah.
I would be orange. I don't know actually why. It's fresh. It's sweet. It has a how do you call it? Peel, yeah. Outside, but inside it's very soft.
I would be a fresh, raw meat. I'm not sure if it's salad, but it would be colorful and made out of only seasonal vegetables.
Who else wants to share?
I'm also a fruit salad. And now that you said seasonal, it's also organic fruit, of course. But yeah, because it's also fresh and very diverse. But you would have a lot of nuts on it because they are also hard to chew sometimes, but very fulfilling.
I love food, so I would have like a whole different bunch of foods. First, I would eat like a salad mixed with fruits, with vinegar. I love it like with vegetables and then with grapes inside and apple. And then I would skip the main meal and yeah. I would you are the food. What? You are the food. What food you would? Yeah, I am. Then like also the strawberries at the end, you know, I'm also like yeah, because it's funny. I have like all these flavors, you know, and like at the end, I think I taste like coconut ice cream with.
You're everything.
Yeah.
You are.
It's hard to decide.
I actually have no idea what kind of food that would be.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking, but maybe vegetable, as I'm vegetarian, so it's quite. But I have no idea how to determine that. No. Any advice? How do you know what kind of food you are?
I would be cherry, because cherry always comes with the top.
Okay, I would be a souffle or a lava cake. I don't know how you call it. I cook it a lot, and it's the trick that it has to be cooked enough, not too much, like not even a few seconds more than it should, because then it's good. I don't know. It's the only thing that I'm thinking. And also it's hot and cold and eat over ice cream.
I feel like I'm great because grape fused in everything. You can make fruit salad, vegetable salad, every kinds of smoothies, wine, cocktail, mocktail. I feel in every situation. So I feel like I'm like great.
I thought about kiwi. Kiwi in the middle.
Anyone else?
Okay, I guess it's just me left. I'm not really sure. Let it be an ice cream because it's refreshing and energizing and it has different flavors.
Everybody loves
I can also share what food I would be if I were a food, like chili pepper, the red and very spicy one. First of all, because I really have a strong addiction to chili. When they make the blood test, they find the capsaicin, I don't know, the essence of the chili. Yeah. And of course, there are a lot of people that love chili, but also many people that don't like chili at all, spice. So you have always to find the balance. How much and if and when. Thank you. So already a lot of little stories about you with one food or ingredient or food. Okay, after this first round of sharing about ourselves through food and ingredients, we go a bit to the more interactive part, which in the full session would lead to the cooking. So while we are doing, I explain also a bit how the food session works. And this time we will still choose an ingredient, but this time it's only one ingredient. It's not a full buffet. It's only one, not even a meal like pizza or bigos, or it's just one single ingredient. And this ingredient has to have a meaning, which in this case, the topic that I choose for this session, peace, the meaning is peace. So you have to think about an ingredient that for you, for some reason, represents peace. Just take a while to think about, and when you have your ingredients, you can write it down on this little piece of paper, or draw it if you feel drawing whatever you like to do. And after that we will go to the next step, which is like cooking. So just take a second, and when you have your ingredient, write it on a piece of paper and leave it on the floor.
Maybe I don't. But it has to represent peace, not percent, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
You're right. Thanks. Actually, right. Like you can add it to anything, everything. Yeah, you are. I know you're good enough. Not yeah. Lot of water.
We have all the ingredients, yes? Okay. Now imagine that you are in the full, the extended version, where you have the chance to say to your group, to your participants, to bring actually the real ingredients. Because the ideal is to have the chance to prepare before the session. So you know already who is coming, and you can send an email or a Facebook message or something to ask to bring the ingredients that represent peace. So at this point, you would have the table with all these ingredients. And then here we have the round of sharing why that ingredient represents peace. But now, because time is a bit short and we are quite a big group, we are not going to do this in plenary now. We will work in small groups where you will have 2 or 3 things to do as a group. One is to share the why the ingredient you choose represent peace. Then the other thing to do is to I will say this later after we form the small groups. Yeah. Because if you have time, the nice thing is, of course, to share in plenary the stories behind the ingredients, and then to go to the cooking session. So now what we are going to do is to form small groups. How many do we have now? I counted 22 in the beginning, but then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 25. So 25, I think that 5 groups could be the ideal. So 5 groups each. Okay? 24. I'm really bad with numbers. So, but still, we make 5 groups, so one will be with 4, right? Okay. You know, one of the most important skills for a trainer, for a facilitator, is to know many ways of forming groups. Wonderful methods to form. Now we will use a very simple one, a very easy one, just to challenge myself a bit. So the scientific, mathematical one. So we just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then all the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, before going, now you know, you will go with all the number 1, so number 2, etc. But before going, we just have a look at the table that somehow will be also our dinner. Because this is what happens when you have the full session with cooking. The ingredients that are on the table not only represent peace, but represent also the dinner that the group is going to have together. And it will happen, even if you see few ingredients. And not because there is Jesus in the group that will multiply them. It will happen in some way. So let's have a look to our peace ingredients. We have peace agents and peace ingredients. So we have cherry, we have coconut. This maybe is an egg. Then we have olive oil, water, apple, honey, forest fruit, cinnamon. This is a watermelon, I think. Rice, lentil, salt, elder, oregano, water again, grape, algae, green tea, chocolate, coconut again, pumpkin. Okay. So we have our peace and peaceful ingredients. Now what happened is that you know your group. So all the number one will go together, two together, etc. And you will take with you your ingredient. Wait just a second. Wait just a second. So you will take your ingredient and go in your group. Random groups with random ingredients. What happens is that you will prepare a meal, a recipe, eatable one now, with the ingredients you have in the group. If you have water, grape, chocolate, and yogurt, you have to prepare a meal with those ingredients. At the same time, you have to share a bit the meaning, why you think that yogurt is a peace ingredient. And so you have to create a bit of story with the 5 different ingredients. So a peace and peaceful story. So sharing the meaning of the ingredient, creating the recipe, and creating a story. Can be also that the recipe and the story are the same thing. It can happen. You decide you choose. To do that, now it's 13:42. 20 to 2, something like that. Then we need to share a bit and to close. So let's say we try to do it in 20 minutes. So at 2 o'clock we meet again here. I say we meet again here because of course with your group you can move. You can go possibly not farther than the garden. Not just because I need to reach, because I will keep the time for you, so don't worry about the time. But it's somewhere and I don't know if you. So just be around, but you can move. So in 20 minutes we will meet again here with the stories, the recipes, and we will see a bit more. Any questions? To share the story, you can choose also in which way. You can just write it down and read it. You can act and do something. You can take a flip chart to make a comic if you want. So you choose how to represent your story and your recipe. Yes?
Two.
Number 1, 2, 5, 5, 5, 5.
4, guys. Are we going outside?
Yes. I think.
Yes.
If you need blank papers,
Yeah. You're 3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a class.
Awesome.
Paper if you need paper.
And then I want to know. Then we really have to make it.
What do you have?
Really? With me? And then
so I'm going often to Belgium to work a bit sometimes. If I eat fruits, speaking and driving machines, and whatever it is.
You can endure.
Yeah, but it's just for a while.
Well, it's quite difficult work as well.
Which one?
Thinking about it.
Picking fruits. Well, it's really nice because actually you spend time to do nature.
Yeah, but they're not contaminating. But
For me, yeah.
that probably also affects your health.
Yeah.
I have friends who had to do detox every time they went.
That's true. That's true. I can feel it. I went there 2 times so far. Like in general, like
How does it affect you?
if I eat it or just if I can, if I eat it, it's bad.
Well, how does it affect you exactly?
I don't know. You feel just weaker. And
Well, what is that you're cooking mostly there?
apples and spiders.
In Belgium.
Yeah, but I was there once so far for picking season, and I was during the winter for like cutting branches or something. It was like before I was working in the or something. But in the end, I prefer to go to Belgium for 2 months, and for this money I can live like half the year. Should we make something?
I don't know. We can provide a lot.
It's going to be deeper.
Yeah. So yes, tomorrow is again the Hawaiian guys. You know the guy who's like high energy guy.
No.
He was like presenting himself on the first day.
At all.
Okay, so he's talking about quantum physics and.
Are you in Jonathan, German?
Yeah, but he was living in Hawaii, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I like it.
Okay.
Welcome
I like
back,
it.
It's energy.
chefs.
I like it, but I don't know if I want to go.
Approach me. Do you?
Yes.
Well, I understand.
Okay.
Maybe it's not this kind of information that I want to receive now.
Now we are going to share the stories and the recipes, which in the food session would be like eating what you can prepare. But after we share the stories,
eat our dish.
some more practical also information about how the few ingredients are become enough for 25, 26 people. But let's first hear the stories and the recipes and everything. So we go just group one by one. So who wants to start?
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Shall we
As you prefer, you know. If you need a stage, maybe you can be here because we have still the camera there. So.
Come on.
Beautiful. It's not a big deal, is it?
Maybe we have still.
Okay.
Maybe if you can just move for a second here.
Okay.
Can I write in the?
Okay.
So we had 5 ingredients.
They represent the 5 elements.
One is olive oil,
Art, soil represents art.
chocolate,
Also art.
the coconut,
Also
What's
art.
art?
Other elements comes when
Yeah,
we are figuring
in the recipe, ether, and milk.
Okay, so those were our ingredients, and we wrote the recipe down, so I will just be reading it. The recipe is for peaceful chocolate chips pancakes.
And is guaranteed.
Peace guaranteed, yes. Gently clean the surface. Open the window of the kitchen so the fresh air can peacefully touch your face. Cook with your heart. Slowly measure the ingredients. Take your time. Slowly and gently put the olive oil in the pan and observe for a second the fire coming from the stove. Carefully mix the milk with the coconut flour. Gently stir the mixture for 15 times, slowly repeating Samad Araham. Sprinkle the chocolate chips in the mixture for some magic. Have patience until the pancakes are golden brown. With love, serve it in a clean plate. Add as much elder syrup as you want, and comfort your insides by eating this healthy pancake. One bite of it and inner peace is guaranteed. I was having my fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun to writing it. Maybe it was more fun to write it.
Thank you.
We can share the recipe.
Yeah.
Okay, we can post it in the Facebook group. Wonderful, thank you. Who's the next?
Okay, we go.
Yeah.
Can we sit or something? You want to sit? Okay, so our story actually will be like surprise also for us. I don't know what I'm going to say, but the first ingredient is coconut, and it's a really peaceful fruit because we can compare it to each other, our lives. Like we need to go through the hard skin, and it's not really easy job to do in order to open it and get all this meat and this juice. So the first step will be opening the coconut, remove the water, and fill the glass with the coconut water, and then I'm leaving two bowls of coconut that are actually empty, and we can fill it by whatever we want to guide. So that's it.
Okay, that was very tasty.
Yeah. So meanwhile, he's struggling to open the coconut. I am trying to light the fire. We're in the old house, all sharing the stories already of our lives. That's where the hard skin is coming out. And as I am pouring into the saucepan to roast the pumpkin and to make it become soft, we all remember of the softness and soft voice of the monk John. Orange. He's pulling us.
Then I'm adding a red lentil to the coconut water. Lentil is a lovely ingredient because such small amount can feed a lot of people, and it can satisfy different tastes. So if you're a meat eater or vegetarian, you will be happy and fulfilled with lentils.
So then, to make it more tasty, I will add some algae, then we'll add some salt, and we'll also have the protein that maybe vegetarians will need for their diet.
And then meanwhile, better like cooking and making the fire, I'm going to the forest I have the first food, to go to a tree, to maybe meditate like the monk, get in contact with the inner power and with the nature, and then to take the fruits and to put these collective fruits into the water. To make a good mix for everybody.
And then to have this final touch for the dish, the dessert, I also put some algae to make it consistent like gelatin.
And that's it. And the celebration of peace.
Okay, we can. You want to be? You can be.
You can just be.
Okay, we can. You can be. I want to be. You can be. Yeah. Or maybe,
No, after that. Okay. So I'm sorry. Teatro.
Oh, what a lousy day.
Could I be more stressed? Now I have to cook. Oh, crap. What do I do? I need the water. Oh, come on, water. Need some water. Let's get water. Water? Oh, okay. So let's get some rice, I think. Nothing here, just rice. Come on, rice.
Hi there, I'm Rice. Rice is very sustainable source of protein, and it's used in Thailand for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm Rice.
Should I be more relaxed?
Maybe some green tea will help you to relax.
Yes.
Preparation is very meditative.
So, yeah, green tea, good idea. Pouring green tea. Rice ready, I think. Now tastes good. Should I get something? Maybe something sweet. Maybe also yogurt. Yeah.
So I represent the yogurt, and I'm very fluid and peaceful. And if you think of my physical properties, I'm white, which is the color of peace, and that's why we're using yogurt now. And my future is very uncertain. Give me some more honey.
That's actually the great
Ready.
right behind
Need some relax. Peace.
Cool. Okay. So we'll be the next group. And we would want to invite you to stand up in the circle.
Should we go? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's all make a possibly a circle.
All right.
Along the way. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, we don't want to cook alone. We want to cook all together. So we have a big dish that we can share at the end. So let's start, right? Okay. One. But we do it all together. We sing all together. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
First we sing and then the start.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Break the egg, break the egg, break the egg, break the egg, break the apple, break the apple, break the apple, break the apple. Mix together, mix together, mix together, mix together. Fry the pancake, fry the pancake, fry the pancake, fry the pancake. Cut watermelon, cut watermelon, cut watermelon. Pick the grapes, pick the grapes, pick the grapes, pick the grapes. Put on the plate, put on the plate, put on the plate.
outside when you're going to do it myself. We had quite tricky ingredients. Most of them were spices. So we will introduce first our ingredients, which I have. But you will see that they are really different and really disconnected in the beginning.
Oregano.
Cherry, salt.
Cinnamon and water.
What can we do? We were thinking a lot. Then we decided from one cocktailing going to a cocktail. So we started doing something really peaceful to clean our body, tea medicine. So we put 1 liter of water, half of a kilo of cherries, and 1 spoon of cinnamon, and half of a tea of salt, and 1 pinch of oregano. Okay?
It's an old aphrodisiac.
This is for cleaning. This is for cleaning the body. But we have another recipe, and together it makes peace in and peace out.
So now you decide which one is peace in and which one is peace out. Yeah? So the second one is to celebrate. It's for the mind. Okay? So 100 of kilos of boiled cherries. 100. 100. Ah, really? 100. Okay, thank you. 1 pinch of cinnamon, and I have just a bit of salt on the hands. And for girls, 40% of water, and for men, 50 or half of water. Okay. So if you want to try, you buy one, and then you get one free.
So that's the alcohol, and then you put the salt on your hand, and you drink it like tequila. So this is peace in. That's a peace for your mind. And if you use the medicine and the alcohol afterwards, you can have peace in your body and peace in your mind at the same time, and share it with people around you.
What to say? I would just close here and add nothing anywhere. It was just beautiful to. I mean, really nice. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was fun. Yeah, I mean, I feel now that I'd like to add a few practical information at the end after this really inspiring. And it was already nice looking at you outside, hearing these laughters. It was really, really nice. But yeah, still to add a few things to close a bit and some information when you are going to do it in the full version. The practical thing is how to make it enough in terms of quantity. Because the thing is that when you do this cocktailing with a group of trainees or young people, scouts, I don't know, you can do it, or with friends. Of course, you are really going to eat only the ingredients, with the ingredients that they are bringing. But it might be some issue with the quantity, because if you have only like in the last group, no, you can have a little drink. But, so you need to have a backup plan to make it enough, let's say. And it's quite easy when you are preparing the thing. You know that you have 25 persons, so you know that you have 5 groups, and then you bring with you 5 extra food. Participants don't know, of course. But you bring with you, I don't know, 1 kilo of pasta, 1 kilo of rice, couscous. I mean, food that can add the quantity. And then after they start to work in the groups, then you go and say, if you think that it's not enough what you have in terms of quantity, you can get an extra food. In order to get it, you have to face a little challenge. And then you have prepared a little piece of paper with a little challenge written there. Something easy, it's just to keep this little thing to get extra food can be find out why this room is called Nordic room, for example, without asking the staff of the hall. Something. So you have 4 or 5 challenges, one for each group, and when they accomplish the mission, you give them randomly. They cannot choose if they rice or pasta. Still, they get randomly the food, so they have to add it. So this is the simple way to have in the end. So far, never happened to have a buffet in the end that was not, how to say, enjoyed. It was always tasty, creative recipes, and it's quite good to have a different dinner. The other thing, thinking about the methods, is for addressing some topic. Of course, at the end of an activity that can be creative, fun, which is always good. But of course, you need also to work a bit on the conclusions with the so-called debriefing. And this can be a bit a challenge because when in the end of the activity the group is ready after this very dynamic and creative, they have all this food and they want to try it. So and some food maybe it's warm, so you need also to eat it warm. So that's not the best moment to have the briefing, no? So you should do it afterwards. But still, it's not easy because after they eat, and so the briefing part in this, it's always a bit of a little challenge. So you have to find also here a creative way, maybe during the meal or really straight after the meal, like let's have a coffee together and to have a small debriefing on the activity. The description of the methods for the short version and the full version, I can share it easily. Easily meaning that I can do it, but I don't know how, if they will do something like that, like sharing the tools and the workshops that they are doing. But anyway, it's absolutely shareable, and if you want, you can ask me directly, so I can give it to you.
Or you could give the organizers to post it in the Facebook group.
Also.
Everyone's on Facebook.
Yeah. I gave it already to one of the Peace Revolution stuff, so I don't know. But anyway, if you feel I can, anyway, directly, you just ask me and I give it to you. To link it again with the topics, peace here, for example. Here it was, how to say, easy. No, I choose peace as the element to focus the ingredient. But this method started to grow in the frame of intercultural learning and cultural diversity training courses. And it started when, with some colleague and friends, we started to think about the famous intercultural nights, like the one we had yesterday here. Because, for those who are familiar with youth exchanges, seminars, training courses in Youth in Action, Erasmus+, you almost always have this intercultural night, which means people from different countries bringing food, drinks, sometimes dances. Wonderful, enjoyable. Last night also it was. But especially with youth exchanges, we started to see that after a week working on breaking stereotypes, maybe, because Youth in Action was a lot about, and also the Erasmus Plus is a lot about breaking stereotypes, etc. And then we realized that after a week, maybe working, or 3-4 days working on breaking stereotypes, with one wonderful intercultural night, we were again building all these stereotypes, reinforcing the stereotypes, because what happened is that if you have a group from Italy and you ask them, bring food to represent your culture, probably they will bring 10 kilos of pasta, and then you have your stereotype reinforced, that Italians eat only pasta. Or it can happen also the other way around. If you have a group from Spain, and they are not going to prepare the paella, and then maybe the other participants from other countries get disappointed. But how are you not going to prepare paella? And then if you have this Spanish group that is maybe from Asturias or from, they say, why we should prepare paella? Paella is from the south, it's not from the...
Same with flamenco.
Exactly, the same. Are you going to dance flamenco? No, because we are in Cantabria, we don't dance flamenco. So that's very interesting. So then, talking about culture, in identity, and food, like drink, it's still a powerful element, no, that defines a bit our culture. So we started to think how to still use food, but in a different way to really try to break the stereotypes. And then it was linking it more with the personal dimension. When we use it in intercultural learning training courses, how we address the topic is bring an ingredient that is connected with you, an ingredient that has a story behind, an anecdote, a memory from your childhood, from the place where you live, from a trip with friends, whatever. So in that way, maybe the Italians will still bring pasta, but with a totally different meaning, no? And you are not just eating the bolognese that you find everywhere, but has a different meaning. So this is really shortly how the methods slowly started to. And for me personally, ideally was also inspired a bit by this approach. It's called the art of hosting. I don't know if you. It was also mentioned here in the workshop, but then the guy that's supposed to do the workshop was not here. I really like because it's all about methods and tools to create the conditions to have meaningful conversations. And this links with what I was saying in the beginning, like creating a safe atmosphere, not thinking about challenges. And if you are not in a training course, it is about those things, like self-development. I don't know where you need to push a bit and challenge the group. And there are many methods. Some of them are also quite used, like the word cafe. I can imagine you all know the word. Many times it's used also in a bit rushed way, but are really powerful methods. And for me, it was like being inspired by this art of hosting when I was thinking to frame a bit this cook telling. Today, I would really like to call it peace telling. It was really. And as a tool, this is what is also in the description. For those who are familiar with the formal learning stuff, etc., maybe it's nothing new, no? But many times trainers tend also to give too strong importance to the tool. But the tool is just a tool, it's not the thing. The thing is how you are going to create the atmosphere with the group. Many times happen that I get a message on Facebook or an email by some friend saying, Salvi, tomorrow I'm going to have a final evaluation of a training course. Can you suggest me some method? And I was like, what a question is this? I mean, I don't know where you are, with who you are, how much time you have for this final evaluation. So, of course, there are tons of methods. You just Google, I don't know, or you go in the famous Salto toolbox and you find thousands of tools, but the tool is just a tool. The most important thing is to know the context and to be in the context and these kind of things. Yeah, only this few things to say in the end to close up a bit. I don't know if you have any question, because I would like also to ask a little feedback as we usually do. But I don't know if you have some question or.
And also, it's very nice because younger and younger people are getting how to cook. So it's also an added benefit of relearning something that's lost skill. It could also be used as an exercise for group dynamics, like, and then you have to observe what's happening in a group and so on.
Yeah, actually, sometimes because it can be used, this is also an important element also to say for a tool that can be used for different different topics and for different. Sometimes we use it even just for the first day, the team building activity, just as a team building without any specific. And then yes, you can talk a lot about also group dynamics.
I think it expands creativity a lot because it's all about creativity. It's like all the cooking and all the idea of making some meal. Yeah, and then if we have the real cooking, it would be even more and a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Something that I totally agree on the creativity part, because there is always this debate, or I'm creative, I'm not creative, and now sometimes you just need to be in the conditions to. What was the last thing that you were saying? Now I lost a bit.
Fun?
I lost a bit the thought that I was going to share.
I was telling about.
If we were cooking also. If we were.
Yeah, the fact that if we would really cooking, of course it's very nice. It's even more fun because when with these ingredients you really try to make the cocktail piece in, piece out. It's really fun, creative. But I have to say that many times, like today, I really enjoy this short version. Of course, if you have even an hour more, like to have 2 full hours, you can go a bit deeper, not rush people, go and say, you can give half an hour to, because with the cooking, of course, the cooking part takes over a bit, which is nice. But I really enjoy also this working more on the story part.
Yeah.
Which with the cooking, it's a bit.
It's more fun, like less story, more fun when you cook.
I love the part of storytelling because, like, here we can see like how many stories really we can get, like with different people and with different ingredients. It's like limitless possibilities, and okay, maybe not limitless. There is like a number. you can do the math, but it's amazing how stories evolve. And also I have to say that I love also that you put the piece like as an intention, because like we are also here speaking about peace, and bringing peace into cooking is, I think, really, really important. I think we should all think about where does the food come from, and how is it prepared, and is it maybe violent, or is it maybe unsustainable? And I think this really fits here in this summit.
Yes.
Yeah. Any other feedback? Also, if you have some suggestion, what could be improved, for example, anything you would like to share?
I think the food is quite a triggering issue as well, because if we talk about inclusion as well, there are so many allergies out there now.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Once you start actually talking, why are you like this and why you're not eating that, because that is more healthier for you, and also in relations with anyone, food is very triggering. It can be. So I think it's not a feedback really on you, but if I would imagine to do this activity, it would be also necessary quite a strong introduction as to the values and inclusion and all these principles that are very necessary to take into account when you are thinking of how to prepare any food and make it accessible for everyone, and how much actually accessible you make it for vegans, for gluten intolerant, and so on. So it triggers like a deeper value system as well.
This is a super good point. Yeah, go, Marco, and I will.
I think also maybe it would be, instead of doing the group like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or just to let the group mingle, and so that they similar attracts themselves. I know, for example, I am rice and I see oregano and jam, so we would look together, and you ask if you want to, and then salt and rice and oregano, they work together, and they see pumpkin. Very good. So like you ask pumpkin if you want to be together, and you already start building the recipe while you do the group. Because like if you do the group random, you have cinnamon, water, what do you do?
I actually think when you do the intercultural learning and cultural diversity, having a random group is the better way to do it. Because
I think about the reading, the
reading
thing that,
and
all the pumpkins,
But you need to more talk about what to do, how to do it. Because if it's simple,
Yeah.
lot of beef.
And if you know,
and it's not maybe one by one, maybe.
No, just say in terms of intercultural learning, it add a challenge, of breaking the barriers, representing yourself, standing up for yourself, and how can you find the common ground and can you create something new, I think in intercultural learning, definitely this is a better way of mixing the group. Yeah.
But part of the dynamic of this activity can be also what Luca was saying, because thinking that it's also teamwork, and we have 5 groups, but still a big group. In the workshop that we did in the morning, for example, it was Sami from a guy that was in one of the group, and he came and asked me, but can we exchange ingredients with other group, or he said trade? And then I said, of course you can. I didn't say that you cannot. So it's still part. You can go and mingle and say, I realize maybe I don't feel to go there, or maybe to exchange. So this is still possible. It's not. But I don't say it in the beginning because it's part of the team building, and it's something that you can add in the end when you debrief, in the teamwork part. I wanted to follow a bit what Ilse was saying about the importance of the value, the inclusion. Because actually the first time when I started to really think about how it could be made and method, it was in a youth exchange which was about cooking. It was let's cook, simply. And the main aim was, it was an Euromed project, so countries from Egypt, Jordan, etc., and other countries. And it was just about cooking to share traditions in like celebrations, weddings, festivities, this kind of thing. And then when it was the day, again, about the intercultural night, etc., it was every night a different country. And then as an Italian group, we thought to make it in a different way, to try to break stereotypes. Because being there and talking, we realized how with food, and it was a group of really young people, we could address different topics, social, political, health issues, so different things. And then instead of making the intercultural night, we had a night with different workshops. One which was about health, with slow food versus fast food, for example, talking. And so yes, you can add or address it in different ways according to what you think is important. When you prepare the real meal with cooking, you bring the attention. Also, be aware that in the group might be someone with allergies, or we have vegetarians, or we have
but also you need to have a facility that lets you do it, because not everywhere you can go in the kitchen and do a mess.
Yeah, you need part of the teamwork. Part of the teamwork is that you can do it. Once we did it in Serbia, and it was in a house of a person, that it was kind of cultural center with a very tiny kitchen, like 2 fires only and few pots, and we still could be part of the team building. Last week in Perugia, in Italy, we were in a hotel, so it was a nice kitchen with a lot of tools there. But you can do it even with a fire camp. Again, but then you have to be aware that you need more time, that you need different to approach the group in a different way. Any last comments or no? Okay. I really enjoyed so much that I would like to take a picture of this amazing. Can you, I don't know where you want to get it. I really want to fix the moment and say thank you.
I need those colors of our
I think
Yeah, okay, but
so big. I love yours.
I know, but what is now? Yes.
It's almost
But what do we have?
meditation.
Really?
Yeah.
And then
No sound.
Yes. Well, thank you very much.
Nie wiem, jeszcze teraz jakie programy. Ja potem podłam.
Ale widzicie, więc
Sorry, you want to give me your email address? So like now I don't do like
This matter.
Because, well, like now the idea is for sure there is this one in Poland that is like normal symbol architecture. So like
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
photo and video with
I was laughing the whole time. I was too
excited. And then there is this other, so like this will for sure the application. Then there is the other one, so that now the thing is that because I have already like 4 or 5, I would have at least like 6 partners. So like now the idea is to collect all the partners and to say, okay, so like do we go for this long or maybe it's too early and we go for the normal and this should happen. So like then see when decide and also then for example some videos we also did the workshop. Like you know some recent activities. Yeah, like activities. Yeah, activities I do that at the time doing. Because the like of course I also look what kind of activities I'm doing.
What do you think how this works? Yeah, in my experience, really.
I don't know, like to take it easy. So like really like everybody's doing only what they feel comfortable doing. So I don't know, like one activity they don't like. So like it's very okay. And for sure, like for example, it's very important team leaders. Group leaders they have like very big responsibility. Because that's why we usually with this program we have like 2 team leaders and 4 participants. So that and yeah, so like you know in that also because they usually they know the guys much better than me. Or like like, so like usually before every activity, so we are doing this. Do you think that for your guys, I don't know, like, okay, so we have like that is, so do you want to run and explain then like what you're saying? Or you know, like, okay, just go slow. Or like before, every session, like we talk and like we are just also like we always have also like review, so where we and like and also do have when we have an activity, you know, like we design it, so we have the activity and then we adjust according to so like all the group that we have. So if we are doing visual, if we are doing less visual, we are also like totally blind or to give more instructions. But yeah, like what I learned is like I don't have any medical background. I don't know like what I like one thing that I learned is like this really also to listen to them to like be like be in contact check every time this is okay. And also like one thing that no I don't know, I'm not saying that how they doing what's wrong, but I mean medicine for me like my problem I also like to challenge to put the bar high, a bit higher. Yeah. One of the things that I saw was like always feeling it and very things like
especially if they're like when I use games in years, it's easier for you to memorize. Because you need to know more. So we time the a lot more space right there. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's where it's right. They don't really face the real life context.
Oh no, like this, so like I don't know, I did the activity that I did the